Welcome back to Bite-Sized Folklore, the show for curious tales, odd history, and the stories that cling to the quiet corners of the world. Today we're in Scotland. Not for a ghost this time, but for a girl with 3 remarkable coats, and a name made from river grass. This is Rashiecoats. Our story begins with a king's daughter, bright, capable, and used to doing what's right rather than what's easy. A powerful man decides he'll marry her. He's older, stubborn, and very sure of himself. The king does not refuse him. So the girl goes walking, past the gardens, past the last cottages, to the house at the edge of the wood, where the henwife lives. A neighbour who tells the truth plain. Ask for what can't be done, the henwife says. 3 coats, 1 of beaten gold, 1 made from every bird's feather, and 1 woven from the green rushes by the river. Ask for rush slippers too. It sounds impossible, but money makes strange things ordinary. The gold is hammered until it lies like cloth. Servants go to the hedges with sacks of grain and call a grain for a feather, until the birds accept the bargain and leave a plume. Down by the water, rushes are cut and braided into a coat that smells like rain. Slippers are stitched to match. The suitor smiles. We wed at dawn. She doesn't wait for dawn. That night, she wraps the 3 coats, slips the soft green shoes over her shoulder, and she walks. She walks through the hours when owls trade news, when the moon thins, when birds begin. She keeps walking until the road changes, and the faces are strange. In the kitchens of a far-off castle, there is always work for steady hands. She peels, stirs, sweeps, and sleeps by the warm ash bed. Because of the odd green cloak she keeps around her shoulders when the drafts creep in, the other servants gave her the name Rashiecoats. It stuck. Sabbath comes, the castle empties for kirk. Everyone goes except the girl in the kitchen, who must keep the dinner right. When the room is quiet, help arrives. A small bright presence at the hearth. You don't need its name. Not every helper uses one. Put on your coat. Put on your gold coat, it says. Go, I'll mind the pots. She does. In the kirk, the light seems to gather around her. Heads turn. The young prince looks up and forgets the hymn. Before the final amen, she slips away and hurries back. Nothing has burned. Nothing has boiled dry. The next Sabbath, the helper nods at the feathered gown. Rashiecoats walks into church in a coat that shifts like wings. The prince reaches the door, a moment too late. She's gone. On the 3rd Sabbath, she dresses in green. Rush coat, rush slippers. She moves like a river under willow leaves. This time, the prince is waiting by the door. 1 slipper slips free and taps the stone, light as a leaf. She doesn't turn back. You know the promise that follows. The prince says he'll marry the woman whose foot fits the shoe. Great ladies try, maids try. Someone tries to force the fit and learns the hard way that pain is not the path to happiness. Birds sing in the hedges, kitchens are mentioned, so the prince goes where people forget to look. Down the stairs, into the warm room, ash on her sleeves, spoon in her hand. Rashiecoats keeps stirring, because soup waits for no romance. He asks politely if he may try the shoe. It slides on as if it remembers her. She brings out the matching slipper from her bundle. The room changes. Not brighter, just clearer, as if everyone suddenly expects to be surprised. They talk before they promise. Names, terms, no doors forced. Space for the life she's built. Thanks for the henwife who knew what to ask. A garden by the river, because you don't forget what saved you. There is a wedding in time, not at dawn, at a sensible hour, with warm bread and a fiddler who knows when to be a hush and when to be a storm. The birds come without payment. A few feathers are left in the hedge for luck. So who is Rashiecoats really? She's a princess in disguise, yes, but also a girl who steps sideways out of danger and chooses her own road. The coats aren't just pretty things. Gold like light, feathers like air, rushes like water, earth, sky, river, stitched around a stubborn heart. Rashiecoats belongs to a family of stories where a young woman asks for impossible garments to stall a marriage that she doesn't want, hides her finery inside a humble disguise, and is recognised by a lost shoe at church. In Scotland there's a close cousin called Rashiecoats, more like Cinderella, with a helper by the hearth and 3 Sunday visits. Different shapes, same steady centre, a test, a choice, and a life made on your own terms. That's it for this episode of Bite-Sized Folklore. If this tale kept you good company, follow the show and leave a review. It helps these stories find curious ears. Until next time, travel kindly, and keep a little space for wonder.